Do you believe that this is self-inflicted? You believe that?
Yes, sir.
If it's not that way, just tell me so.
It's that way.
Okay.
It's self-inflicted from...
This is Thomas Elmore Jr., a man trying and failing to explain away the suspicious circumstances behind his girlfriend's death.
When I got home, the bathroom door was shut, and I called, I knocked, no answer. And so I opened it, and she was laying there on the floor.
What he doesn't realize is that detectives have already spoken to medical examiners who deny his story. And every lie he tells will become evidence that buries him.
Just trying to figure out why it took so long to, report the incident and so forth.
It really tore him up.
He was in a complete and total state of shock. Does this mean he's in trouble?
Watch what happens when a paramedic tries to bluff homicide detectives.
You didn't think about calling 911 still or the police or anything?
Didn't think about much at all.
At approximately 3 p.m. on September 22, 2016, police in Hillsborough County received a distressed call coming from the Riverview suburb of Tampa, Florida. The call was from 48-year-old Thomas Elmore Jr., who told dispatchers he had discovered the body of his deceased girlfriend on the bathroom floor in their shared home. Police arrived at the scene, where they found 48-year-old Tamara Naish, a local nurse who was known for her dedication to her career and her patients, and had a large circle of loving friends and family. Tamara was declared dead shortly after first responders examined her. A revolver was observed lying loosely in her left hand. At the scene, Thomas told police officers that she had taken her own life shortly after a fight the couple had had in the early hours of Wednesday morning. He had found her body 24 hours earlier, but was too in shock to report it right away. The news that Thomas, a paramedic, had taken so long to report her death troubled officers. But what troubled them even more was the first feedback from forensic analysts at the scene, who reported that Tamara had been dead for 36 hours, not 24, as Thomas had initially claimed. This first lie immediately cast doubt on his suicide explanation. But as you're about to see, this was far from the only part of his story that didn't make sense, and detectives know it right from the start. Thomas is brought into police headquarters the next day so detectives can gauge what he knows and whether he's willing to be honest with them about what happened. But he doesn't come alone. The man in the lower right corner is Thomas's attorney, Patrick Courtney. Detectives are going to have to be careful about how they approach the interview. If they push too hard, Courtney could shut things down and withdraw his client.
And just kind of take us from the beginning. What happened? I guess you guys were out to dinner or something to that effect. So tell us what happened.
Yeah, we went out to dinner.
Just put
If you could raise your right hand for me, do you swear or affirm that the information you're about to provide is true and accurate?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, appreciate it.
We went out to dinner that night. Had a good time. Actually had one of my coworkers, my Monday partner on the ambulance, met us out there.
Mm-hmm.
And we had wings, had a couple of drinks, and we just had a good time. Talking. My coworker finally got to meet Tamara. And, okay, but when we got back home, she started yelling and screaming about things, and she had been under a lot of stress. She had just been fired from her job because of medical issues. She got...
What's that?
It's a neurological disorder.
Okay.
And it comes from getting a flu shot. She got the flu shot at work. And a couple weeks after that, she started having issues walking. And so we were having to go through, she was having to get blood transfusions and things to try to get that situated.
Thomas immediately jumps into the difficulties Tamara was facing, as if to establish that her taking her own life was a foregone conclusion, obvious and undeniable. He doesn't yet realize this is exactly what detectives are going to question.
There was, money issues and things like that. Just, I didn't think it was anywhere near this point. But she started yelling and screaming. My dog has a tendency to get in the way sometimes, especially when things are, not like they should be. And he got in the way and she kicked him, which I couldn't believe.
Did it hurt the dog, or does the dog need to be?
He's fine.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a Rottweiler.
Okay, pretty big animal.
He's about 75 pounds. Yes, sir. But, he had never done anything like that before. And I just said, look, before this gets way too out of hand, I said, I'm going to take Ranger over to my parents' house for a while. They can watch him. And I'm going to stay over there for a little bit, let you cool down, and just do what you need to do. As far as, settle down, talk about it when I get back, And I was over at my parents' house for a while, and figured, okay, it should be enough time. She should have calmed down, because normally, if there's any type of, spat or something, it's 10 minutes and it's done. That's the way we work. And it didn't happen often at all. When I got home, the bathroom door was shut, and I called in through the bathroom door. There was no answer. I knocked, no answer. And so I opened it, and she was laying there on the floor.
Thomas gives a clear, coherent order of events from that night. But the timing of everything is going to become a point of contention between him and the detectives.
What did you see when you opened the door?
I saw her laying there on the floor in blood. And then she had the pistol in her hand. And I stepped in. I checked the pulse. And
You're an EMT, right?
I'm a paramedic.
Okay, paramedic, okay. So I obviously no signs of pulse or anything like that?
There's nothing.
Okay. And then what happened?
I guess shock set in. Didn't know what to do.
Okay. Where'd you said she had a gun in her hand? Where'd the gun come from?
That was my pistol.
Okay. Is it a high point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I take it you would keep it, that's your home, so you would probably keep it somewhere?
I kept it in my nightstand.
Okay. Did she ever been shooting with you? Does she obviously know how to use like a semi-automatic pistol?
Yes, sir. We actually just went and did our CWP class.
Okay. Did she get like a license, or have you sent it off yet?
We've already sent it off, yes, sir.
Just waiting for the return and stuff? Okay. All right. So she obviously knows how to use and function a pistol if need be and so forth.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Understanding the victim's knowledge of firearms is critical. When someone wants to commit a drastic act like what Thomas is claiming, they are unlikely to use a firearm because the risk of failure is too great. Tamara's experience seems to strengthen his claims, for now.
So I can understand or empathize with the fact that you see this going on. You said that, shock sets in. I take it your first instinct, like you said, was to check for the pulse with your training and so forth. So once shock set in, what do you remember happening after that? And take us through.
Just trying to figure out what to do. And I don't know. It was like just a blur for a while.
Did you stay there at the house, or did you go to your parents, or?
I stayed there at the house for a while, and then I went to my parents' house, and that's when we coupled.
Okay. And called Mr. Courtney and so forth. Okay. Okay. What night? So where'd you guys go eat dinner at?
At Hooters.
And that was with your work partner?
Yes, sir.
And what's his name?
Trenton Crenshaw.
Okay. The Hooters in Brandon?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay.
On 60 in Falkenberg.
All right. What do you remember, like, what time you guys went there? What day it was to go eat dinner?
We got there. It was about 9:30, somewhere around in there. It was Tuesday night, and then we stayed there. Well, they closed at midnight, so we left right before they closed.
Okay.
So, and then we had to take Trenton home because he had had a little too much to drink, because he knows a couple of the waitresses there and had some shots with them and stuff like that too. So I didn't want him getting into trouble. So.
Was everybody? It was you, Trenton, and Tamara at dinner. Anybody else having dinner with you guys?
It was just us. I
Okay.
mean, some of the waitresses that he knew, came around, but I mean, it was just to talk to him and left.
Okay.
What Thomas doesn't know is that his coworker, Trenton, has already talked to detectives extensively about their dinner that night, and the presence of these waitresses warranted more than just a passing mention.
Were you all three of you guys drinking and so forth?
Well, Tamara had had a beer, and well, maybe she might have had 2 beers or so, and I had a pitcher of beer.
Okay. You said earlier she has what syndrome from flu shot? Does she take medications or something for that?
She takes pain meds for it.
Okay. She drank how much do you think maybe at Hooters?
Maybe 2 beers.
Okay. Did she seem okay? I mean, with the medication and drinking the beer and so
Yes,
forth?
sir. Yeah, as far as I could tell. I mean, I wouldn't have let her drive. I mean, I made that mistake myself, as you probably well know.
Mixing alcohol with certain medications can have devastating effects on a person's physical and mental state. Detectives have to rule out possible factors that could support Thomas's case before they can press charges. This is one of them, and Thomas rules it out for them.
I wouldn't want anybody else to go through that.
Okay. So basically, after you guys drop Trenton off at his house, you and Tamara return to your home. Okay. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys get into an argument. Did she kind of initiate the argument?
She just started yelling and screaming about things.
I mean, what kind of prompted it? I mean, can you think? I mean, anything happened at the restaurant? I mean, has she ever drinking before where she's been intoxicated and she acts like this? I mean, I don't know her, so I'm just kind of trying to get a background from you.
As far as I know, I mean, I've seen her buzzed and things like that, but I've never seen her intoxicated or mean or anything like that. And that's why it just kind of threw me for a loop. And when we got back home, all of a sudden, it was like it was my fault that she lost her job and that things were just closing in around her. Things.
Okay. How long you guys been together?
3 years.
Okay. You're not married or anything, just living here? Okay.
Yeah, because she actually has a house in St. Pete, but it's a 2-story house. And when she came down, she couldn't go upstairs. So,
she has a hard time moving?
yes.
I mean, I don't know much about that syndrome. I mean, obviously you're a medical professional. Like, what are the symptoms and stuff that?
Basically, like I said, it's a neurological disorder. And it's basically triggered somehow, like the way she got it through the flu shot. I don't know if it's the antibodies to try to fight the flu or something to change the neurological system. And it can go into a few different stages where it can mess up brain function. It can also mess up your respiratory issues if you've got it like in the, if it affects the nervous system in the chest area. It can also affect your lower and upper extremities. And she was having trouble with her lower extremities.
While the name is redacted from interrogation footage, Thomas is likely talking about Guillain-Barré syndrome, where a person's nerve cells are damaged by their own immune system. It's a rare side effect of some vaccines, including the flu shot. For Thomas, Tamara's illness probably seems like the perfect cover. After all, for many people, there is a correlation between debilitating illness and severe depression. But it won't be enough to soothe the authorities' suspicions.
Has she been diagnosed with that?
Yes, sir. As far as what she's told me, and she takes.
Okay.
She would go off her meds every once in a while, and then start them back up, and it was just ever since she. It's been a roller coaster.
Okay.
I thought we were getting things back on track because she was starting to get more function back.
Mm-hmm. Well, what kind of work did she do?
She was a nurse, but she worked on the administrative side. She worked for.
Okay.
And she was in their appeals division, and they were involved in trying to create a new software program that would make the appeals process easier. And they were having issues with their side of it, so they delayed their program process. And they took her team and moved her team to another team and didn't move her anywhere. But she was having issues with that because she didn't know what was going on. They were giving her pretty much meaningless task at work. And then it was her boss and her had issues, and it finally came down to it to where they put her to where she was reporting to her boss's boss, because her boss didn't, I guess had too many other things on her plate to have to deal with her reporting to her too. And
how long has it been since she's lost her job with?
it was just maybe a week or two ago.
So pretty recent then.
Yes, sir.
Tamara's recent job loss would likely have compounded her already fragile emotional state. It's another point that our deluded suspect is using to push his narrative.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, they just shipped all of her stuff from the office there back to my house the other day.
Okay.
I've actually still got it in my truck.
Okay. And is the red Expedition, is that her vehicle she drives to work? And
Yes, sir.
And then the gold, I think it's a PT. Is that yours?
Yes, sir.
So you're kind of working on it or something?
Yes, sir. That was both of ours, and that's in both of our names. The
Okay.
Expedition's in her name. I was replacing the water pump and timing belt, all that stuff.
And then you got a truck or something?
We got a rental truck, yes,
Okay.
sir. Because her Expedition, the front end needs to be changed on it because we had a wheel bearing go out on it. Yeah.
Okay. About the residents, don't take offense to it or anything, but obviously there's a lot of stuff that was in the residence. Is that her kind of doing? Is that your doing? Is it a combination? I'm just trying to get an idea.
She is a hoarder.
Okay. I was going to basically throw that term out if you know what it is, but is that just part of her personality, her characteristics? Has she always been into hoarding stuff? I mean, it looks to me like she buys stuff and just kind of sets it aside. So she buys a lot of things. Has it gotten you into a position of buying or kind of paying the bills, so to speak, with...
I pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that part of the money problems that have been brewing?
No, I mean, she pays her rent on her house in St. Pete, and her house in St. Pete is the same way.
Okay.
I could take you over there and show you.
So pretty much same thing with buying stuff and stacking stuff up. Okay.
And, you know, so it wasn't like, I mean, the only bill that that there's an issue with is my mortgage. And that's just because when I got a divorce and then, you know, came back home, I wasn't working at the time. And so I'm trying to get all that situated too.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that wasn't an issue. You know,
Okay.
if I lost my house, we'd have a place to go. You know, and or we would have found somewhere else that wasn't a 2-story house.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Detectives already know there were cracks in the relationship, and now they need to know why.
How did I guess her hoarding affect you? I mean, did it bother you any, or?
I mean, it did, because I'm normally a very clean person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there was, you know, a lot of the situation on where a lot of her stuff came to my house was she had a storage unit,
Mm-hmm.
and she was just paying all this money into a storage unit, and my house was basically bare.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have much except for a couch and a bed and a table, and so I said, you know, we can bring stuff from the storage unit over to my house, store it there until we can figure out something else to do. We can, you know, have
And
a
it kind
yard
of turned
sale.
into what it turned into with
Yes,
more
sir.
stuff. Gotcha. Let me go back a little bit to the point, like, where you go in shock. I'm just trying to get a timeline down and just kind of get an idea, understand that, you know, it affected you, obviously, and so forth. Did you leave from your house after, like, you found her and go to your parents' house? Is that
I
where you,
stayed at the house for a while.
like, you know, like a time frame, like how long?
It might have been 24 hours or so.
Lying to police is the wrong move, and Thomas knows that. It took him 36 hours before he finally went to his parents' house and called 911, not 24 as he claims. But as a paramedic, he knows exactly how unusual and suspicious it is to wait this long before reporting a dead body, so he's downplaying the timeline. He's doing this because he thinks it's the only part of his story that looks suspicious. But that's not the case, and he's about to find out.
So it was into the next day
Yes.
that you go to your parents' house.
Yeah.
Okay. So would that be Wednesday sometime that you go to your parents' house?
It was Thursday.
Thursday you go to your parents' house? Okay. So pretty much Wednesday, during the day Wednesday, can you remember what you did or what was going on, or?
I basically just sat there on the bed.
In the back bedroom?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I just sat there.
Okay. And what prompted you to go to your parents' house on Thursday?
Just didn't know what to do.
Do you remember about what time you got to your parents' house?
It was probably 3, 4, somewhere around in there.
Afternoon or morning?
It was this afternoon.
Okay. All right. And I take it you probably talked to your parents about what had happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what happened after you talked to your parents about this?
They told me that, I needed to call somebody
Okay.
and see what to do.
Okay.
Thomas's excuse isn't enough to satisfy anyone, let alone professional criminal investigators. The idea that a first responder wouldn't know what to do in this situation makes no sense, and Thomas knows it.
Now, I understand, you're a medical professional, paramedic, and such as that. And when, you checked for a pulse, obviously you're telling me that you didn't detect the pulse. So probably in your mind and training, you basically knew that she was deceased at that point. You didn't think about calling 911 still or the police or anything?
I didn't think about much at all after that point. Just sat in pride.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I know that you said that that you went to walk the dog. How long were you gone by the time that you came back?
I was gone an hour or so, maybe.
An hour?
And that was to take the dog to your parents' house,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yeah.
Do they live up in Sefner or
Yes,
something?
sir.
Okay.
Correct.
When you left, did you lock the door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you came back, was the door still locked?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Were you were in the military, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What,
Yeah.
Army?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was looking at the Ranger.
Yes, sir.
I know that we talked to Trenton, and he speaks highly of you. Army Ranger, medic.
Yes, sir.
All right. How long were you in?
I was in for 14.
14 years.
Yes, sir.
You
And
did
I
some
noticed-
tours?
I noticed some of your insignias there. Air assault,
Yes, sir.
airborne,
Yes, sir.
expert, field medical,
It's a combat medic badge.
combat medic badge. And I didn't see the other one.
It's a Pathfinder badge.
Okay. When was she diagnosed?
That was, let's see, I guess about it was last year, towards the end of the year.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact time, but
Yeah.
Now, detectives are going to dissect the events of that night. You're about to see this man struggle to uphold lie after lie and realize that he didn't plan things as well as he thought, if at all.
When you guys were at Hooters,
yes, sir.
I know that we talked to Threaten, and he's saying that there was some girl that you were trying to buy a drink for, one of the waiters, messing around, that you guys were joking around with one of the waiters.
Yeah, it was his friend.
Just his friend.
Yes, sir. And yeah, and they were hanging around, and so I bought everybody a shot.
Tell me about that.
As far as just talking, and they were going to have a shot, so, and they were inviting Trenton to have a shot, and I said, I'll buy the round.
No. I know that he was telling us that you were trying to buy this girl a shot, but she couldn't have a shot because she was working.
Oh, the
That's what
waitress.
we're-
Yeah, the
yeah, the
waitress that
waitress.
was on duty. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we were just kidding around. Yeah, we were all just kidding around, having a good time, telling her, she was over there working like crazy, and it seemed like the other ones were off talking and stuff. And it's like, sit down and have a drink. take it easy.
Well,
Was it before like closing time when they were probably getting
Yes, sir.
off or something?
Yeah, it was around that time because the two that Trenton knew, they were off with, I don't know, it might have been another girl that worked there or something, sitting in the booth that was across from us. So
Okay. Did you send Trenton any text messages after you and Tamara dropped him off at home?
Watch Thomas throw another clumsy lie right in the detectives' faces.
He sent me a text message saying, "Are you home yet?" And at that point, we hadn't gotten home yet, and I said, "No, we're not."
Okay. Any other text messages that you remember when you got home to Trenton? Something about one of the servers there at Hooters or anything?
Not that I can think of, no, sir.
How much did you have to drink that night?
I had a pitcher of beer and a couple shots.
Okay. Did you feel intoxicated, like buzzing, like you could feel the drinks?
I mean, there might have been a little buzz there, but no, I was not intoxicated or
Okay.
anything like
And
that.
I wasn't there, so I just had to ask the
I
question.
mean, I wouldn't have driven,
Okay.
but
Who drove?
Tamara did.
Tamara did.
Yes, sir.
Was it the Expedition or the
Yeah, it was
pickup?
the pickup truck.
What were you wearing that night?
This.
Okay, that's what you were wearing
Yes,
that
sir.
night. Okay. What was she wearing?
She was wearing the clothes that she was in.
The clothes that she was
Yes.
in. Okay.
Detectives asked all the right questions. Thomas's claim that he can't remember this mysterious second text is unbelievable, and everybody else in the room knows it.
Just going back to when you got home, after going to Hooters, you guys drop Trenton off, you go home. I guess Trenton sends you a text message. He confirmed with us he sends you a text message to make sure you guys got home. You don't have any other text message conversations with him after? Something to the effect of like an interest in one of the server girls there at the Hooters? I mean, were him being like flirty with you and you texted something back to Trenton about that?
Yeah, there may have been something like that, just out of kidding. That would not have been something that would have prompted anything to have happened.
Well, that was my question. If
Right.
like one of these girls was being flirty or something, and then you text like a conversation with Trenton, that was going to be my question. If Tamara saw that and got upset or something.
No, sir. No, because she wouldn't check my phone. I wouldn't check hers. We had a lot of trust in each other. You'll probably think I'm a piece of garbage, but we did do the swinging thing back when we.
I don't judge anybody, so I mean I appreciate you offering that up because it gives us a little bit more background, just kind of knowing dynamics and stuff and why things happen and so forth. So she wouldn't have been the type to I don't know, get upset or jealous with you if a server was being flirty and.
No, sir. She actually thinks it's funny because my ex-wife was like that. I couldn't even go somewhere and have for instance, when I took my job at LSU, after we had moved up to Louisiana, we went to the Tilted Kilt, and the waitress paid a lot of attention to me because that's what they do. That's how they get their tips and things like that. And yeah, my ex got furious about it. Tamara wouldn't have. She would have, chimed in and just joked about it, and probably giving me a jokingly hard time about oh, she was all over you and stuff like that. But no, we had complete trust in each other.
The problem with Thomas's claim of complete trust is that it's going to be hard for police to verify if the other half of the couple is deceased. And since detectives have already counted 2 lies in his story so far, it's going to be hard to trust anything else he says.
Okay. So just going back, she, as soon as you guys get in the door, was it all of a sudden she just starts engaging you in this argument?
She just started yelling and screaming, and a lot of it was, she had trouble getting the door open because my door has sagged a little bit, and you have to.
Which door? Like the front door?
The
or?
side door there.
Okay, the carport? Okay.
Yeah, the one that we use, it sagged a little bit, so you have to, to lock it, you have to lift up on it and pull it closed. And that way the bottom latch catches. She was having a hard time getting that open, and then, like I said, my dog gets in the way. She starts yelling and screaming, and he just continues to get in the way. And, I'm trying to talk to her and tell her, calm down, I'll take him outside, let him do what he needs to do. I mean, we've been gone for a little bit. He probably has to go out and go to the bathroom. And then she starts turning on me, yelling and screaming at me on, how her life is messed up, and that, it was my fault that she lost her job. And like, how is it my fault that you lost your job? You had an issue. You got sick. We've been trying to get through this.
It's telling that Thomas seems more emotional when talking about his own alleged treatment by Tamara, rather than Tamara's fate, as if he's making himself out to be a victim to avoid seeming like a predator.
And
was her illness creating a lot of stress with you guys?
Not to where we were fighting about it. It was stressful not knowing how long it was going to take for her to recover. Having to make sure that she would go to her appointments, because after a while she got tired of having to keep going and getting it was weighing on her.
Okay. Did she, obviously she was prescribed medications and so forth.
Yes.
In your opinion, did you think she abused those medications?
I think she abused her pain meds a lot.
Did you ever take her pain meds or anything along with her or anything like that?
As far as
just for recreational use or something
sir.
like that?
No, sir. No, I've got my own insurance, and if I needed anything, I could go get my own. But
okay.
Yeah, no, I don't take her meds.
All right. Well, just, looking at this and kind of getting a gauge of, what happened and what led up to all this, obviously you're upset over what's happened to Tamara and so forth. That's understanding and so forth. Before you left, let me go back. You say you returned after taking your dogs to your parents' house, or your dog to your parents' house. And you come into the house, unlock the door, go in, no answer from her. She's in the bathroom. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the door to the bathroom was shut?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was it locked or just shut?
It was just shut.
Okay. And obviously you find her.
Yes, sir.
in the state she was in. Is there anything different about that from what you earlier told us? My question is, did she do this, or did this happen in front of you?
No, sir.
So you come home and you find her in the bathroom with the door shut?
Yes, sir.
And the reason he asked that, because I think Threaten believes his impression was that this happened in front of you, so he was feeling bad for you, that you witnessed this.
It was basically some conversation. He had brief conversation. I understand you went to the headquarters of AmeriCare, correct? That's where you work?
Yes, sir.
And that's when you first see Trenton, and you told him what had happened.
Yeah.
And he was under the assumption that this had happened in your presence.
No, sir.
So that never
happened in my presence.
But Trenton's impression won't be the only thing that suggests that Thomas was in the room when his girlfriend was shot. He doesn't know they've scoured every part of his life for evidence that might help.
There's also a call that you make, and I believe it was at 1:59 in the morning. It'll be from Tuesday night into Wednesday morning.
So wee hours of Wednesday morning.
So 2 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday morning, that you call him and he doesn't answer.
Right.
So his impression is that when you call him at that time, and the conversation that you guys have when you went to your job, is that he's asking you if that is that when it happened.
Oh, no, sir.
That's not when it happened.
No.
Okay.
No, because like I said, he had sent me the text message about, have you guys gotten home yet, and stuff like that. And when I called him, it was, just to verify that, no timeline on there. I think it was to let him know that we had gotten home, or something at that point. So.
Okay. How soon after you guys got home is when she starts screaming? Was it quick?
Yeah, it was immediately.
Okay. It was immediately.
Yes, sir.
So that's not when this happened. That's when you call him. It's just to let him know.
Right. That way.
So at what time did you go to your parents' house to take the dog?
And like it was a little bit after we had gotten home, so I can't remember an exact time, but it was.
So then I can say that it was after you called them to let them know you guys were home.
Yes, sir.
So it was a little after 1:59 is when the call, at least it shows in his call log, 1:59.
Yes, sir, a little bit after that.
A little bit after that. Do you recall how much after that? Was it 2 hours? Was it 3? Well, you said it was quick, so I'm assuming just minutes. After that, you leave with the dog?
It was.
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just trying to figure
I
the
can't
sequence. You don't remember
an exact
the exact time?
time. I mean, I tried to talk to her and get her to calm down, and then it just, she wasn't. So.
Where was she at when you left?
She was in the bedroom.
In the bedroom?
Yeah.
If detectives can prove he was still in the room and that he has lied to them again, it will all contribute to the charges against him. But as we'll see, Thomas has an answer for everything, whether it's convincing or not.
This is when you, with your community, you guys have to use like a card to get into the gate, like after a certain time frame or something during the night. This right here, Mr. Courtney can look on, this is just a copy. It's a highlighted section here just showing your card entry. So this is actually 12:37 a.m. is between 12:09, 12:54, 12:37 a.m. And it's coming back to your name, T&A Elmore. Would that be about the time frame that you get home from Hooters after you drop off Trenton?
That might have been somewhere around in there.
Okay. And then again here at 3:11 a.m. your card is used. Would that be about the time frame you're coming back after dropping off your dog?
That might have been around that time, yes, sir.
Okay. So it'd been about probably a minute or so after the 3:11 mark is when you found her in the bathroom.
Probably about that time, yes, sir.
Don't forget the timing of his key card and the timing of his text and calls to his friend. Soon enough, this is going to come back to bite him.
And when we get called that day, there's Thursday, thinking when we
Right,
received.
that may have been my confusion through just back and forth with about 15 hours versus 37 hours as far as when it happened. My
Yeah.
understanding at the time was that it was had happened that morning, but it was the conversation was yesterday, so that may have been my confusion with him.
And I figure that happens, that can happen,
Yeah.
so that's why we wanted to ask about that, just to make sure that it's just something that sometimes communication, the way that it becomes. So,
Sorry.
It's all right.
Turn this off.
so about 3:11 is when we have the key card being used. And is it a card or is it the code? What did you use?
It is a card.
The card, because I know you have two choices. You can use a code or you can use a card.
Yeah, the only thing we can do with the code is with ours is you can call somebody
Okay.
on that lives in there.
Okay,
And then
okay.
they can
Let
press
you in.
9 and it'll
let you
open the
in.
gate.
Okay.
And how many cards do you guys have for your vehicle?
I have one card
Okay.
on my person, and then my parents have a card.
Okay.
And she has one.
No.
She doesn't have one. So when she comes home, she has to call.
Well, no, because normally at
You guys
night
are
we were together.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And during the day, I understand that the gates are open.
They're open, yes, sir.
Okay.
What time does your community shut the gates at night?
I think it's at sundown, somewhere around, I don't know, it might be around 8 or 9 o'clock, maybe a little earlier, a little later. So
Okay.
I'm not extremely sure on how they've got that set, but yeah, sometime around after the sun goes down.
Okay.
When you go in the bathroom, okay, and it's just I'm trying to get a picture. Where did you check for a pulse?
I first checked on her left hand,
Left hand.
and then I checked up at the carotid.
Okay. Did you see the gun?
Yeah.
Where was the gun at?
It was in her left hand.
Let me ask you this: the way that I found her when I walk in, did at any point did you move her at all? You just checked for a
Yeah,
pulse. Did you move her?
No.
Anything?
No, sir.
Nothing.
Not.
Inconsistencies at the crime scene are going to make up the bulk of the evidence against Thomas. He insists he didn't move anything at the crime scene, but he doesn't realize that the crime scene makes no sense. Tamara had sustained 2 gunshot wounds, one in the head and one in her right hand. She was also holding the gun in her left hand, even though she was right-handed. Neither of these details support the idea that she pulled the trigger. Detectives are convinced, at the very least, someone tampered with the evidence. But will Thomas be able to explain away these inconsistencies?
No, sir. I checked for a pulse, and that was it. I mean, her legs and stuff were up against the door, so I had to kind of force the door open a little bit. But other than that, I checked for the pulse, and that was it.
And that's the reason I was asking, because I know that I had a hard time trying to get in. So I had one of the crime scene technicians, and she's probably half my size. So she got in first, and she was able to photograph everything. So I wanted to make sure that when you're getting in through that door, if anything changed from the time that this incident happened, you know.
I mean, it may have, but I don't know.
No.
As far as, I don't know what it looked like before I opened the door.
Yeah. Can you tell me what it looked like, what you saw?
There was stuff all over the floor,
Like, can you describe what kind of stuff?
like toiletries and things like that all over the floor. And she was laying there. I know, because she was trying to clean up the pile on her side of the bed before all this happened. So there were some bags in the bathroom that she had put stuff in, and I think I remember one of them was laying on its side by her. That's about all I remember.
Was she on her back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know that you said the left hand and she had the gun. Was she left-handed or right-handed?
She was primarily right-handed, but she used both hands.
Ambidextrous
Yes,
kind of
sir.
thing.
Again, Thomas's claims are going to be contradicted later, as Tamara's relatives will describe her as only right-handed. It's another weak attempt from Thomas to cover his own tracks.
Let me ask you real quick, with your training and you've probably done some tours, I assume, as a combat medic, and probably have seen gunshot wounds and injuries and so forth. Even though this is Tamara, your girlfriend, and the person you care about and so forth, in this situation. Did you, when you were checking her pulse, could you see the injury upon her body? I mean, could you tell what her
I just
wounds
saw
were?
blood in her face.
Okay. Did you notice, I mean, did you happen to check, I know you're checking her pulse and she's deceased in your opinion because of your training and so forth, but other than the blood on the face, did you see like an actual wound or anything?
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay.
No, it was just like a pool of blood. That's all.
Okay.
Did it appear consistent, like something that just happened a minute before, or something that happened maybe an hour before?
I mean, it looked. It looked like it was recent time frame. I don't know.
And what I'm asking, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm an expert, but I know that if gunshot wounds, if she shoots herself, okay, and you walk in and it's 2 minutes later you start seeing some blood, and then around you don't see that much, so that's the type of question that I'm asking. Is it that reason that
Well, no.
it appears, or does it look like she's been bleeding for a minute,
Look like-
for a while there?
Yeah, it looked like she had been bleeding for a while.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you wanted me to try to give it time.
No, and I know we can do that, but I also know that if she had just done it and then she started to bleed, that's something that you would see.
Yes.
And with your experience, I know that you can see that,
Right.
and I'm sorry. Let me ask you one more thing. There's a text message about a divorce. What is that in reference to?
And that's from on Trenton's phone line.
Yeah, that was just joking around. That, yeah, she's yelling and screaming at me, but, it's like, I don't know what the hell's going on, so I just, I was just trying to tell him that, we're okay, but there's things going on, and
Thomas's bumbling, clueless persona isn't fooling anyone. If he and Tamara were really in the middle of an intense screaming argument, why would he be sending joking text about divorce to his friends? If it's a joke, it's a highly abnormal one. And just watch, this text about a divorce is only going to make things worse for him.
So that text message is at 1:04 in the morning. We know that the gate is at 12:37 that you come in the house. Then we know the phone call at 1:59. Okay, I know the phone call you were telling me that you just letting them know we got home. His assumption is that maybe something happened by then. That's why he was thinking it happened in front of you. But at 1:04 you send him a text message in reference to I'm gonna have to get a divorce, and you know what else is there. And I don't want to leave you out. So the text message says something in reference, and I'm thinking we're going back to the waitress, that I'm gonna have to get a divorce, but I'll still fuck her. So, and I know that's the text message, that's 1:04. Then at 1:59, you're telling me that you call them again to say, just to let them know that you guys are home. So we're talking 55 minutes later. Then we know that you leave, and at 3:17, 3:11, you're coming back home. And that's when you discover that this is going on. So,
and that phone call at about 2 o'clock may have been just to let him know that, that she had started yelling and screaming at me,
Okay.
and that there was issues. Like I said,
you don't remember that?
I don't remember the time frames.
Okay.
I did try to call him. It may have been because was on my way to my parents' house, and just needing him to talk to or something, just,
Well,
Again, they've caught him in a contradiction. This claim doesn't make sense, since he'd already texted Trenton an hour before. So Thomas pivots with a new excuse. He can't quite remember. He doesn't know. He probably just needed someone to talk to. It's a weak excuse, though at face value it doesn't seem that damning. But these small contradictions just keep piling up.
How long have you guys been partners at work?
Let's see, we probably 2-3 months now.
Do you guys like work the same consistent schedule kind of thing? It's like 13-hour shifts or something?
Yeah, we work 13-hour shifts a day. He's my normal Monday partner.
Okay. All right.
And then,
you guys switch partners every day, pretty much?
No, sir. No, I've actually, on my shifts, I've got 3 partners, and each of them are my normal partners for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
So you work Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So Saturday you work with somebody else, Sunday you work with somebody else, and then Mondays you work with
Trenton.
him. Okay. So you work 13-hour shifts, so pretty much then from Tuesday through Friday, you're pretty much free.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you guys had a chance to pull cell towers yet to see where that he was pinging from at that 159 phone call?
No, that takes a little
Pretty
while.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like, definitely not like the TV shows where, that takes quite a period of time.
That'll just...
That'll help know where he was anyway.
Right. Yeah.
And just retracing back that little bit of time frame, obviously you made the text messages to Trenton about the server and whatnot, but you're telling us that Tamara didn't get upset over that because of like your all's lifestyle,
Right.
essentially. And then roughly around that 2 a.m. mark, you think you were calling them maybe to just or vent or something to that extent.
Yes, sir.
And you think you were already on your way to your parents' house to drop off your dog?
Yeah, at that point, I probably might have been. And as far as trying to remember times and.
Well,
Did you just like open your parents' house and put the dog inside, or did you like wake them up at that time?
I woke them up.
Okay. All right. So they knew you were obviously there dropping off your dog.
Yeah.
Did you say anything to them like, hey, we're having an argument, or she kicked my dog, or do you remember what you said to them?
I told them that that she started yelling and screaming and kicked Ranger, and that I've also got us thinking about trying to start looking for another house too, and that they might have to keep him until I could do that or something, but because of the foreclosure, because they have served papers wanting to go ahead and asking the judge for the foreclosure and stuff. So.
Okay.
At this point, detectives know they can't trust Thomas's testimony. Now, his parents are coming in to confirm, or possibly deny, his story.
You didn't think about just spending the night there at your parents' house at that time, or you just wanted to go back home? Or?
I did think about staying there, but like I said, only if there was any little taff or something that went on, it was done and over with, and just a little bit. And so I figured, go back and talk, we'll get to the bottom of what's going on and get it straightened out like we always do. And I get home and find her.
Okay.
When you got home and you found her like this, and I know that the shock is different when it's somebody else than when it's a loved one. I know that. Did you call anybody? Did you tell anybody? Did you make contact with anybody at all and let them know what was going on?
No, sir.
No one whatsoever.
No, sir.
anything else right now. Do you have any questions for us, Mr. Courtney?
No, sir. House is free to go. He can go ahead and
Yeah,
call Surf
yeah.
Pro like it never happened.
Yeah. Actually, there's something I wanted to ask you guys. Her family, sister Stacy, have you ever dealt with them or talked to them? And her mother Wynette. Obviously, with the circumstances when somebody passes, we have to make next of kin notification. Since you guys are not legally married, her mother and sister are her, legal next of kin. They were notified technically yesterday. An agency in Alabama, they live in Alabama, went by their residence and conveyed the message, and then handed me the phone, and I spoke to Stacy via telephone. They should be here in Tampa now. They wanted to come down, I guess, deal with what needs to be dealt with through the medical examiner's office, and there's the whole issue of services and all that kind of stuff, and also to do whatever they need to do regarding her home or property in Pinellas and stuff like that.
I do have a key to her house.
Well, that's something that I could probably meet up with them or something if it's okay with you guys to pass off the key so they can get in those places and deal
Unless
with
they
it.
can get a hold of you if you want.
I mean, whatever you guys choose to do.
Yeah,
so.
they can get a hold of me. I don't have any problems with them.
Okay.
This mention of Tamara's mother and sister may not seem that relevant to the investigation, but it raises a final question. Tamara has been dead for 2 days now. Why wouldn't he have reached out to her family already? Tamara's mother will later confirm that the couple had been together for 3 to 4 years. If there was no bad blood, as he claimed, why did he fail to contact them about their shared loss? Thomas doesn't pick up on what is obvious to detectives, that his failure to reach out to her family is just another sign of his guilty conscience.
One more question. Do you believe that this is self-inflicted?
Yes, sir.
You believe that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm just going here out of gamble. If it's not that way, just tell me so.
It's that way.
Okay.
It's self-inflicted from what I know.
Okay.
I mean,
You sure?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Completely positive.
All right.
I don't have anything else.
Detectives may not be pushing for a confession in front of his attorney, but with this last question, they're letting Thomas know exactly what they suspect. Now, they're going to talk to his parents.
And basically, obviously we're conducting an investigation into Tamara's death. I understand your son Thomas came to your home, I believe he said Thursday. Do you know about what time he came to your home? Well, let me back up. He advised us that he dropped his dog Ranger off at your home. Do you know about what time that was or what day that was?
That was around 2:30 in the morning. That was Tuesday,
No.
Wednesday. I guess it'd been Wednesday morning.
Okay. About wee hours in the morning,
Yeah.
2:30 or so. Okay.
Right off the bat, Thomas's parents seem to confirm his timeline of events, at least as far as the first time that he left the house.
I take it, you're his parents. He probably has a key to your home.
No, he was.
Did he knock on the door?
Right.
So he woke you guys up?
Yeah.
Ring the bell.
Oh, wow. Has he ever done that in the middle of the night, bring his dog or come by your house in the middle of the night?
No, not that I recall.
Okay. When he brought the dog in, did he appear to be upset or can you describe, how he was feeling?
He asked if he could drop Ranger off. He had him still in the truck, and he said that, as far as I remember, just to get Ranger out of the way, and like I say, I think that was around 2:30.
Okay.
And we said sure, because we get along good with the dog too.
It was a good dog.
Oh, yes.
Very much
German
so.
Shepherd.
Okay.
And so he went back to the truck and carried him in and set him down, and we talked a little bit, and he said that he had to go back home. I don't remember a whole lot else, but I guess it was after 3 before he left. I don't know the times or anything.
Okay. And then did you have any conversation with him later on Wednesday at all, like during the day or Wednesday night or anything like that?
Not that I remember. I think whenever he did come over, the wife had texted him and asked if he wanted something, go have something to eat or something like that.
And who texted him?
My wife.
Yeah. Okay. You texted him and asked if he wanted dinner or something like
Right.
that. Did he reply back to you guys or?
He did. He said he'd not that evening.
Okay. Okay. And then going into Thursday, which would be September 22nd, did he come over to your all's residence at some point?
Sharon texted him again because we hadn't really heard anything. And that's when he came over and told us what Tamara had done.
And that was Thursday afternoon, you think?
I think, I'm not real sure.
So he told you that she had passed. Did he say anything specific that you remember about how she passed, or what? You remember what he told you?
I think he just said that when he got back home that he found her in the bathroom and she had shot herself.
Okay.
The detective is going to address at least one of the major problems with Thomas's story, the delay in reporting. But his parents are quick to find an excuse for him.
Was that when he said he got home from dropping the dog off at your home? Okay. What did you guys tell him? I mean, did you give him any advice or what to do or anything?
He just said he didn't know what to do, so we told him needed to report it.
Okay. Did he say anything about reporting it, or you remember any of the conversation you guys had with him?
Yeah, best I remember, he just kept saying, I don't know what to do.
Okay.
I don't know why she did it.
Okay. And with his military experience, his being a paramedic and so forth, there's obviously a delay in reporting because this happened wee hours of Wednesday morning, and then he's coming over to your house on Thursday. We're just trying to get a gauge of why, understand he's upset. We get that. Just trying to figure out why it took so long to, report the incident and so forth.
It really tore him up.
He was in a complete and total state of shock.
Was he?
He was.
He doesn't have any children, right, with his
No.
first wife? Okay. Well, we'll, continue to work on this and get to the bottom of it, and I'll be in contact with Thomas and Mr. Courtney, his attorney, and we'll go from there. So I take, obviously you served, you're in Vietnam?
Yes, sir.
Well, thanks for your service.
Thank you.
When you say you get to the bottom of it, I mean, what?
Well, we're still awaiting final results of her death and so forth. And we have to wait for like toxicology and blood work and basically we weren't able to talk to him that night because he had contacted Mr. Courtney. So that's why we're here today, is because Mr. Courtney talked with Thomas about coming in and giving us a statement and trying to basically take his time frame. And I mean, there are a lot of questions because there was such a delay in reporting. Why we understand people get upset and so forth. Unfortunately, I have to investigate this kind of thing every day, so I'm around death every day. But there was quite a period of time, before our office was notified to begin the investigation. We respond out and investigate every death, so to speak, that happens to home, whether it's self-inflicted, accidental, intended, such as that. So.
Well, does this mean he's in trouble?
I can't say that he's in trouble. He came in and gave us a statement. So we have to basically go back and sit down with the pathologists that make the rulings and give the opinions of how somebody died. Whether, again, it's accidental, inflicted, suicidal, whatever the case may be, and give them the statement, with the time frames and, maybe what led up to it with this argument. I mean, who knows? So I have to sit down and consult with the pathologist and so forth, and then go from there. So.
Okay.
But we'll be in touch.
Mr. and Mrs. Elmore don't shed much light on the investigation. Now it's time to wait for the rest of the investigation to speak for itself, and for Tamara. It takes 5 years before a verdict was finally reached in Thomas's case, and despite all of his reasonings and excuses, the jury saw right through him. In February of 2021, he was found guilty of second-degree murder. Prosecutors presented the medical examiner's findings that her body had been left for 36 hours, not 24 as Thomas had claimed. His initial lie worked against him in court. The main evidence came from the medical examiner's office in Hillsborough County, which reported that it would have been impossible for Tamara to have shot herself. Despite Thomas's claims, all other sources supported the fact that she was right-handed, not ambidextrous. Examiners also believed that her hand had been shot after raising it to protect her face. They reported that all evidence indicated homicide. Thomas was sentenced to 30 years in prison. His attorney, Mr. Courtney, shared their plans to appeal the case in the future. Until the very end, Thomas kept up the lies about his role in Tamara's death, but with no good explanation for the crime scene or his strange behavior afterward. Justice finally caught up to him. Still, it's no consolation for Tamara and her family, who have to live with the truth that their loved one was taken away by the very person who is meant to support her. If you found this video informative, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video. And if you have thoughts about the interrogation or Thomas Elmore's sentencing, let us know in the comments.